Hello, everyone, and welcome to VYTALCast number 72 here with Xiao.
Hey guys.
Hey, and I totally forgot to ask before we went live. Do you prefer to go by Xiao, or what's your
Kelly is just what I usually go by.
Kaylee?
Like,
Okay.
yeah.
I,
But I don't care particularly.
okay, that's good because I'm like, I didn't know your name until
No, I
just
have
now.
so many aliases online at this point, and I'm just like, just one of them will fit, so
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
yeah. Also, I want to give a shout out to the chat for being here so early, like
Yeah,
Bethany's Life, Kanika, uh, Zetro? Is that how you
yeah.
pronounce that one?
I have
Yeah.
no idea how you pronounce it, but that is definitely one of my people.
Yeah. It's Spectre who reacts is like, wow, I think I'm late. You're like 20 seconds late. You're okay.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
The
my
rest of them
mod.
were just there so early, so
Yeah. Wow, there's a lot of people. Hey, it's Stoic the Dragon Eater. So, sup, Phase? Oh, he's calling us fairies. Yeah. So, uh, do you want to talk about Bumblebee first?
oh
Bumblebee.
well, we might as well just like hit the hard stuff first.
Yeah, we're both bee shippers here. We're fine.
Yeah, oh, that's true. Let's
Yeah,
just
I'm
live in
like
our little echo
I'm
chamber.
I'm not like certain people who are gonna be like, how dare you, you wasp, get out of here.
Yeah,
We've both made our fair share of Bumblebee videos, so
yeah. I've been so open about it since I started on YouTube. It's just like the larger we've got, like the more obvious the attention has became over Bumblebee, and obviously in the show, the more it's become explicit. People are like opinions are changing quite rapidly.
uh yeah, the fandom goes in waves sometimes, and it's just like,
Yeah,
guys, come on. I think the for some reason there's always like been the Black Sun versus Bumblebee debate, which for me as a multi shipper, I'm like,
mm.
guys, stop. I ship both. Stop. So
Yeah. I don't have a particular problem with either. It's just when it gets to that sort of aggressive, like tribalism, I'm like, ooh, calm down.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're just like, yeah. Like last year we had a panel for VYTALCast at RTX,
Oh god.
and someone asked Black Sun or Bumblebee, and I swear you could hear a pin drop right after they said
Yeah.
that, and I'm like, I'll start first.
Yeah.
It's like I like Black Sun, but I don't think it's Endgame. Meanwhile, I
Yeah.
think Bumblebee is Endgame.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is a fair statement to make. That's exactly like what I would say about it as well.
Yeah, and I just at first I kind of just saw the standpoint of like Sun is kind of a side character, whereas
Hmm.
like you could count on all four Team RWBY to be throughout the entire
Yeah.
series. So it's like makes more sense if it was an in-team relationship for like longevity of the show. So
Yeah, well, like narratively, it's just going to be more interesting because, like, Black Sun would have been nice, but then it would have been off to the side for the most part. I mean, obviously, some people maybe preferred if the romance stays at the side, but like, it is a show about the relationships between people at the end of the day.
yeah,
So
and
I don't know. I think it's beneficial.
yeah, and also like a lot of the relationship stuff could just be stuff in the background too. Like it doesn't have to
Yeah.
always have it be in the forefront, which actually has
No.
been my Renora criticism. Is like ever
Yeah.
since they kind of became canon, you haven't seen them like do any sort of interaction. I'm like, just in the background, have them holding hands or something, please.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, you don't need to dance around that issue. It's nowhere near as controversial. So, like, just let it happen.
Yeah, yeah. One thing I was rewatching your video last night, and like
Cool.
I yeah, I have to do my homework.
No, that's good. That's good.
It was also like nice while I was like trying to like not murder my computer to like listen to it and be like, oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I didn't realize in Red Like Roses, I knew like they compared like Yang to Beauty and like
Mm.
Blake to Beast. I for some reason just never had that click as like, oh,
Yeah.
they're Beauty and Beast, because everyone in their analogies were always like, oh no, obviously Blake is Belle, and then like
Mhm.
Adam is the Beast.
Yeah.
Like that's how most people saw it, so it just never clicked in my head.
Yeah. It's just very interesting because all the fairy tales, like, they are supposed to be subversions of the fairy tales, so to have taken it at such face value for so long. It's like, oh, Adam must be the Beast because Adam from the film and
Yeah.
Adam Taurus, but it's not as face value as that, which I really, really like.
Yeah. And like, I don't know. I just never saw him as the curse. Like, I saw the rose on his back and just was like, oh yeah, that's a nice nod to where he came from. I just never. I don't know. I study film production, so I'm like, I feel ashamed. I just never looked into that too
We've
much.
got a similarity there. Like I said, I also studied like film and television production in university.
Yeah, yeah. When you said that in your video, I'm like, hey, a friend, high five.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because what I did notice how like with the Volume 4 outfits for Blake and Yang, how with the tailcoats they're kind of mirroring each other, but also kind of mirroring Adam as well. Where it's like, okay, yeah, design wise, those three characters are connected, and that makes sense. Because like,
yeah, they've been connected for most of the show, really.
Yeah.
So it was kind of inevitable.
Yeah. So. When did you get into the fandom? Because I'm wondering like how long did you have to figure this out? Yeah.
End of volume 3. Like volume 3 had literally just finished airing. I was sort of on Tumblr anyway, but didn't really involve myself with RWBY, but someone recommended it and I was like, okay, cool, I'll start this. And then people were like, oh, you're really gonna like this Bumblebee thing, and I was like, what? What is this? And then just watched it through organically and was like, actually I really like Blake and Yang. I wonder what this is. Oh, it's that thing that everyone said I would really like. Oh, great.
Yeah,
so that was about it.
That's kind of the double-edged sword of like ships in RWBY is the ship names are really cute, but to anyone outside of the show, they're like, what now? Who? What?
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. And I actually had a conversation with a friend about that a few weeks ago where I was like, oh yeah, I mentioned, I think it was Roman candles or something like that, which I believe is Roman and Cinder?
Sounds like it. I was trying to think there to pair them someone.
Yeah, you see, there's the double-edged sword there. It's like, okay, you should be able to know who you're talking about when you say that, but there's always the question of like, maybe it's not. But yeah, I lost my track. My
fandom. When did you get to the fandom?
So, I got in during Volume 1, but I wasn't like sold on the show during Volume 1.
Which is understandable.
Yeah, like I kind of passively watched it, and it was like right around the Emerald Forest fight, I kind of like lost track of the show.
Yeah.
And it wasn't till about the time Volume 2 finished that I discovered, oh hey, Volume 1 continues after the Emerald Forest fight. And I was like, oh, oops, and I had to watch like the whole Penny arc and like them fighting Roman at the bay. I'm like, oh, okay, things make a little bit more sense now. Like I think I watched far enough to like see who Penny was, but then just like forgot to watch. And then when they start promoting Volume 2, I was like, oh hey, and then that food fight sold me. I was like, this is awesome.
So good.
This is the best day ever. I mean, hence the title of the episode. So
Volume 2 was good.
Yeah, that's what got me into it. Then I met Bernie and Ashley at the Sundance Film Festival. And that was just like a few weeks before Monty passed too. So it was just like a kind of weird time of my life because it was like my birthday. I met them. Volume 2 ends, and then like that happens, and then the fandom for a good several months was like, well, RWBY's been a nice run. Guess we're never gonna see it again. And then they announced Volume 3, and it was like, wait, what? They found his notes? What?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it wouldn't have been shocking if it had stopped after Volume 2. Like, I think, like you said, most people would have expected that was what was going to happen.
Yeah. So, like, for me, it was, if it had ended there, it would have been like very bittersweet because it would have been like Firefly or something where you're just like,
oh god,
well, it ended way before it should have. Like, wonder what it could have been. And luckily, they kept it going. Like Miles and Carrie, like, bless them for like not only continuing the show but having to deal with all the BS that came from continuing the show.
Yeah, like you wonder what. Well, I suppose there wouldn't have been the backlash because it would have faded because it was years ago now. But like, I think they did the right thing carrying it on, 100%.
Yeah, I think Monty would have been pretty sad or disappointed like if things had ended just because like he couldn't work on it anymore. He always seemed to be like the work type of person.
Exactly.
And
like
the clock was his enemy, and I don't know, it's weird to like watch his like in memorial video and then like have him talk about time, and it's like, I don't know, you start to think like, did he know something before it happened? Like, I don't know, it's weird.
I don't know. I think he probably knew that like if there was like a finality to everything and that things would only last so long, so that he just had to work his ass off and do what he could, basically.
Yeah.
I think he was just that kind of guy.
Yeah. Sorry, I just saw some of the chat. Fluffy Firefly. I think they're kind of do those dots out of my Firefly comment, but Stoic the Dragon Eater was saying he waved at Monty at a con back in 2010, and Monty waved back. A few years later, I saw the color shorts with his name on them and was like, he's cool people, and boom, I'm here. Yeah. Wait, did someone mention the Scots? Because Stoic the Dragon Eater's next comment said Scots have been everywhere lately, just like the Brits.
That's rude.
Yeah, I'm like, hey.
There's only 5 million of us, we can't do that much.
Yeah. Some people in the chat are kind of talking about how they got into RWBY. Green Taffy said he started watching it mid-volume 5, like...
Oof, that's late.
I salute you, man. Like, you're new to the fandom. You're awesome. So... But... Yeah, for me, like... I don't know, I was in the RWBY fandom for a good couple of years when I was starting my YouTube channel, and it didn't hit me till, like... volume 3 that I was like, oh yeah, people are making reaction videos, maybe I should do that. And like Penny being murdered is what finally pushed me to actually recording. Because like all volume 3 I like watched the episode on my phone, I'm not even out of bed, and then I go, oh wait, I was gonna record my reaction next episode. Yeah. Next episode, and then Penny dies. I'm like, never again. So
yeah, I think volume 4 was where most people sort of came in for like actually doing the reaction videos and stuff.
Dude, it was a huge wave of people. I was just like, holy crap, like, I'm like, where are all these people coming from? And then like each volume it just gets bigger and bigger how many people are doing it, and it blows my mind.
It's nice, to be fair, to have like an actual like community going on with it.
Oh yeah, and like that was the whole thing that got me started on RWBY reaction videos, was I had no one to talk about RWBY with.
Yeah.
And so once I like posted my first reaction video, it was like one of my first times having like good interaction with the fandom, and like, because like on Tumblr I always had like a hard time like getting people to reply to my posts or like answer my asks and stuff. So it was kind of cool to see people actually comment down in the comments and be like, oh my gosh, I reacted that way to like the Arcos kiss as well, or this and that. And it was a fun time.
For the most part, like the comment sections are pretty good on reaction videos. Like they are mainly just discussions and whatnot, which is nice to have with people. Yeah.
Sadly, if I try to like make a comment while I'm still trying to process the information I watch, and I say something slightly wrong, my comment section is all like, dude, it's this, not that. I'm like, thanks.
Yeah. I know, even though they've like rewatched it like 4 times and they're expecting you to pick up the same detail. Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, well for me, like, have you seen Genlock yet?
Yeah, we literally just watched the finale today because we got like Wi-Fi all sorted today, and I'm like, right, I need to watch the finale.
Yeah, because you guys just moved. Yeah. Yeah, so you know the episode where Cammy loses her head fighting Nemesis?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
so that was hard.
So for me, I was not only shocked she had her head ripped off, but I was like, wait, they store the brain in the chest? And for me, I was just like, the chest? Like, I was having like a Deku discovers he has legs moment. And the whole comment section is like, the chest is the smartest place to put it? I'm like, listen, I was just not used to that. I had a criticism because I'm used to like robots when they fight, you could still stab a sword through their chest or shoot them through the chest. I'm like, hey, the chest is the biggest target on the body. For me, I didn't think that was too smart, but if they put thick enough armor behind it, they feel safe, go at it. And they're like, if they put it in her head, she'd be dead. I'm like, okay, guys, chill.
Chill out, my dude.
Yeah,
it's not real, guys.
Yeah, like tap out.
Yeah.
Oh man. How do I dare ask? How was your comments on the Bumblebee discussion video so far? Are they pretty?
It's been a very weird time. Like, I've been accused of all sorts at this point, but to be fair, for the most part, there seems to have been a sort of silent majority of people that are sort of sick of like the negativity and the drama post Volume 6 that were like happy to see a positive, like well constructed video that was like hopeful for the show. But then there's the usual as well, like people that didn't watch the video that were still trying to start an argument. People just being absolutely gross. Someone accusing me of censoring the comments, and I was just like, have you seen some of the comments on here? Do you think I'm censoring them?
Yeah, seriously. Also, I want to give a shout out to Reach's Beast for the $10 super chat. Thank you. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you while you're talking.
No, that's cool. No, super chats take the priority, honestly.
Yeah, it was like, thanks for supporting the channel. Yeah, I mean, I've had a few videos where the comments are pretty bad, like my Bumblebee video, which honestly, like, yours shadows mine in views, so I'm just like seeing how my comments were and going like, oh man, you must be like just ignoring looking at that
every day. Like, there's like new stuff in there. Like, it just seems like new people find it every day. It's by far my most commented on video ever. It's also my most disliked video ever, but also my most liked. It's very strange.
Yeah, I looked at your like to dislike ratio. I'm like, hey, those numbers are big. Like, ratio wise, like, you have a lot more likes than dislikes, which is
it's actually still. I'm actually shocked at how healthy it still is relatively, because I know there's going to be people that just dislike bomb that video. Of course there is.
I mean, and then like certain people who shall not be named go into their Twitter and like kind of vague tweeting about it. I'm like, okay, guys, let's calm down.
Chill it. Yeah, I that's my favorite, is like the thinly veiled but like obviously targeted stuff, and they think that I'm maybe not going to see it, but I usually do see it. Either someone sends me it or I see it myself, and I'm like, I see you.
Yeah. Thanks to like Twitter's like, some people you follow this person, here's a tweet from them, or like so and so liked this tweet, and you're like, cool, I practically follow this person without actually following them.
Yeah, no, it's hilarious that people get so cloak and dagger with that sort of stuff, and then you see it anyway, and you're like, okay.
I saw a certain ship baiting video this week, and I'm just like, I know it's in like response to your video or something, but they're like missing or ignoring all the points you made, and I'm just like,
I don't know if it was like a direct response. I think they were probably working on it for a while, but like I've had people comment the link to that video on my video, and I'm like, okay.
Because I had people link to another video of that person's, and then a certain 30-minute rant about Adam video as well, and I'm just like, guys,
like, I've seen most of these videos. Like, I have watched them, because there was no point in me making a video of mine without like seeing what other people had said, even if I disagreed. Like, I'm gonna try and see what both sides are saying. So I've seen all these videos, so people linking them and been like, you should watch this video, it disproves all your points, and I'm like, you realize I've watched this video?
Or like, you make a video and you explicitly say this video's in response to that video, and you do all the counterpoints, and they like link to that video being like, well, here's why you're wrong, and it's like, did you hear that my video's counterpointing that okay.
I mean, mine wasn't even like specifically like about like targeting certain creators or anything.
Oh no,
like
yours didn't even like vaguely mention anyone or anything.
In fact, like the only bit that I suppose was sort of drama was like some people that were calling for Aaron to lose her job for being unprofessional. But I even blurred like their username so that people didn't go and like harass them. I was not about like trying to stir the pot of drama.
Part of me, like, I had a couple of friends that I was thinking of making like a part 2 or 3 to my Bumblebee video series. Part 2 would have been fully kind of a coincidental call out, but kind of using it as an example to talk about specific arguments against Bumblebee, and like how some people, even when they think they're not being like homophobic or discriminative, they still end up being that way with how they argue against the ship. And
yeah, well, it's like, and you're also in danger of enabling people in your audience that do harbor those kind of views, because they're definitely out there.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I hate to say there was a certain thing that happened somewhere that had something to do with a certain YouTuber on the platform who kinda is having that argument used against them a bit. Did you hear about PewDiePie and the whole...
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we're just gonna use PewDiePie as an example, but like, you know, even though he explicitly doesn't like encourage violence or anything like that, a lot of people take his edgy jokes or like some of the memes and community that he harbors from as like they kind of started saying he helps enables like what happened yesterday in New Zealand. And
it's like an interesting like topic is like, are you responsible for other people's actions, like even if what you said completely goes against what they do, but if you lead them down that rabbit hole inadvertently, I don't know, it's a really difficult topic to actually talk about.
It really is, and I'm just like obviously these are like two completely different scales to like harassment online to someone doing horrendous acts. So it's just like like if you say this, I mean, like, yeah, if they're gonna argue and use a pretty graphic description of Bumblebee to kind of like shoot it down, then people are gonna use that to kind of throw.
I don't know. I think you just have to be. I think you just have to be more responsible with like what you say. That was one thing I was like really careful with my video, was like I wasn't gonna go after Black Sun shippers or call like anyone that didn't like Bumblebee homophobic. Like it was never. It was never about that, Brainiac.
Yeah. Which is ironic because like some people have been trying to say you've been calling people out, and I'm like, you didn't name drop or even vaguely say anything in your video. And
no, like my video stands alone as like a video essay about the evidence for Bumblebee. I didn't need to like bring someone else's video up and be like, here's why this is wrong and why this is wrong. I didn't need to do that. It stands on its own.
Yeah, and you even called Sun best boy at some point in the video.
Yeah,
so
it's
like...
fucking love Sun as a character. Like, so I wasn't having people try and be like, "Oh, you're a Bumblebee shipper, you must hate Sun," and it's like, nope. I even understand why people like Black Sun. Like, calm down.
Yeah, seriously, it's like, oh hey, they called Sun best boy, like.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Actually, my favorite comment I seen on it was a Reddit maybe. Someone redirected me to it, and it was saying, "I can't believe I watched a Bumblebee video that made me like Sun more." And I'm like, that's an achievement unlocked.
That is such a big compliment, though.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Sun's a good boy. I like how they turned him around in Volume 5, because Volumes 1 through 3, I liked him. Volume 4, I had mixed feelings on for obvious reasons.
I think Volume 4, like that particular arc for Blake and for Sun, was really not great for either of their characters, to be honest. Volume 5, I think, fixed a lot of the things that damage that Volume 4 did to their characters. Yeah, and like a lot of people during Volume 4 were like, "Why do you hate Sun?" I'm like, I don't hate him. He's just being dumb this volume. Yeah, it was just an awkward time for their characters, to be honest. Volume 4. Yeah, I mean they're both teenagers. Teenagers do dumb stuff. Like let him be dumb and grow up in Volume 4, in Volume 5 and 6. But I don't think it puts like the nail in the coffin of either of their characters, though. Neither of them did stuff that was like they couldn't come back from. Like there were stupid shit that they both did, but it doesn't put the nail in the coffin of their character. And they have both like grown, as you said, in Volume 5 and onwards as people. So I don't know. I think it's that bad a thing. Some of it I wish it hadn't happened, but you can't undo that particularly now. Yeah. Hannah Ray in the chat just said, "I like your casual Captain America cosplay," which, thanks. It's so funny. I was about to wear like my Captain America cap, so we could have been like matching, but I just decided last second, nah. Oh man, I was rewatching really the Endgame trailer so many times before we started VYTALCast today. I'm like, I gotta watch that Endgame trailer. But I'm so excited for it. I am both excited and dreading it Yeah, well, I feel like Cap is a little bit in danger, and he's my fave boy, so I don't want anything bad to happen there. But
some I think it's Donovan Eagle in the chat
oh, yeah.
saying Captain America cosplay, high five. So high five for you, man. Speaking of cosplay, I'm planning on trying to do a Sun cosplay at some point.
Yes, do it.
Yeah, I just need
I always recommend cosplay to people.
Oh, dude, seriously, I love cosplaying so much. I have Todoroki and Joker from Persona 5.
Nice.
So far, and like I have a Link in the works, or like I'm waiting for it to ship, and I have some other characters I've been working on and doing, but I need to get my RWBY cosplay up because
RTX.
Yeah. RTX, but then also Jean's been in weird limbo for a couple of years. I got his hoodie now and a good wig. It's just the
right.
armor.
Okay. The armor will be like the difficult part for sure.
Yeah. People are saying they would like to see cosplay. Are you gonna bring any cosplay to RTX?
Yeah. Friday I'm doing like the end of Volume 6 Yang, so like the battle damaged robo arm.
Oh, sweet.
No butt cape, which will be nice and probably keep me a bit cooler. And then Saturday, I think probably I'm doing a Beauty and the Beast crossover that I've done before, but like upgrading it slightly.
Oh, cool.
And then Sunday I'm doing Cammy from Genlock, which is gonna probably kill me.
A cute girl.
Yeah, exactly. I just can't wait to be like going walking up to people and being like, "Oh, your Cammy accent's really good," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's because I'm Scottish." It's not an accent that I'm putting on, dude.
Yeah. So we were kind of talking about it before we hit live, but we were talking about like language and swearing, and like you're like, oh yeah, it's kind of just a thing in Scotland. But like,
yeah,
when I was watching Genlock and she was from Scotland, and like they're like, Cam, you stop swearing. I'm like, she can't. She's Scottish. And, like,
yeah, it's like honestly so difficult when you live here to not swear.
Yeah. Oh man, I got in trouble at work once. Not too much trouble, but like I was watching Doctor Who. Like season 8 or 9, it was with the 12th Doctor, and
nice.
The next day I have this problem where with people's accents I could kind of catch onto them, or like I'll accidentally impersonate characters that I kind of latch onto. Yeah. And so the next day I get borrowed by a certain team that I'm not familiar with at work, and they were just like slowing themselves down and like doing all this stuff. So workflow was really slow because I was doing like my task and someone else's task because they kept screwing it up, and like, why are you going so slow? And I just went like full angry old Scotsman on them, and they're just like, where are you from? I'm like, I'm from Bloodin here, where are you from? And they're just like, I was just like fully like, I was like, man, I could have gotten a lot of trouble for my
I mean, Channel and Capaldi is the biggest mood, to be honest. He's just such a fantastic actor.
He is. I love him. I still need to finish his seasons of Doctor Who because I want to see.
You've not finished it? Oh no.
I need
it's painful.
I want to see the 13th Doctor so bad. So.
Yeah, I'm a big Doctor Who nerd, so.
Same. My TARDIS is not where it usually is, but I have a TARDIS.
I mean, I'm actually wearing a Doctor Who shirt, but I don't know if you can actually see it on the stream.
Oh no! Here, let's see if I click on which one's the editor, so I can make it bigger. Yeah. Okay, so you say
so
never
got, like,
cool, never cowardly. Oh, is that the 50th anniversary?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't think they sold that one here in the States. I've never seen.
No, I think I picked it up at a con, if I remember rightly, ages ago. I just was like, that's a cool shirt. I'm having that.
Yeah. My second father, I told you before stream. Again, I keep mentioning before stream, but like he's from Yorkshire. And so he went to go visit family before once, and he was getting me some Doctor Who stuff when he was coming back. But it was at the time where Doctor Who wasn't that big in the States, so really, if you wanted merch, you had to buy from.
You had to go to the UK,
Yeah, but Doctor Who would also start like a month or two early in the UK as compared to America. So he comes back with the 11th Doctor sonic screwdriver, because I asked for a sonic screwdriver. I'm like, what the heck is this? Because I've only seen
you were expecting the blue one.
Yeah, I was expecting the blue one. I'm like, what is this, Luke Skywalker's lightsaber? Like, what? And then a few months later, like, the 11th hour comes out and he gets the new screwdriver.
Like, yes.
I'm like, I got that. Well, I was like the coolest kid at school because I had the sonic screwdriver and they'd never seen it before. And yeah,
exactly. You were like ahead of the curve.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I think Donovan Eagle said he saw Peter Capaldi at Comic-Con yesterday.
Yeah, he's doing some guest stuff in the UK just now. He's going around conventions.
Lucky.
That's cool.
Yeah. I met Matt Smith a couple of years ago. And
he seems like he'll be... I've never met him, but I'm guessing he's so nice.
He was. Okay, so, like, I'm going to use my screwdriver as a prop. So I was in my Jean Arc cosplay when I did have armor. My armor melted in the Texas heat in my suitcase. So that's why he's been in limbo. I had him, and then he melted, and then now it's just like, I have part of him. But I brought my sonic screwdriver with me.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went up to see him for the photo op, I was like, hey, can you, like, pose with the screwdriver? And he just gently took it with two hands, looked me dead in the eyes. He's like, I am honored to do this. And I'm just like, like, dying. And then he just, like, went into full doctor mode, took the picture, and he was so great in the picture. And then he gently hands it back. He's like, oh, man, this was such a thrill. Like, thank you so much. Like, apparently no one, like, lets him pose with his screwdriver. But, but I also had, like, a fan letter for him. I'm like, I wrote this for you, and he took that, and he's like, I'm gonna read this tonight in the hotel. I'm like, thank you. And then, like, security's like, okay, kid, your 10 seconds are over. Get out of here, you know? So. Yeah,
Matt Smith just comes... They all kind of do come across as so genuine. I've weirdly met David Tennant's dad, like, completely randomly.
Yeah. So did you just know he was David Tennant's dad, or were you like
no, I did. I didn't realize it was a weird, like, community event or something, and he was opening, like, a building, I guess, in the area, and it was like a big event, and someone said the name, and I was like, that sounds familiar, and then someone else was like, oh yeah, no, that's David Tennant's dad, and I was like, what? And then I looked and I was like, actually, he looks a lot like him.
That's awesome. Speaking of David Tennant, I would be so thrilled if he gets announced for RTX because of Genlock.
Oh, it'd be so good. I feel like he'd have a great time too.
Yeah, him and Maisie Williams would be a thrill.
Oh, I would actually die if that happened. I love Maisie Williams too much as well.
I've had, like, a long-term crush on her, so it's like, please bring her.
Yeah.
Dude, I just want to meet David Tennant and Maisie Williams at some point in my life. And RTX would be the perfect place because RTX is my favorite convention by far.
I feel like I might just be overloaded though, like with like that between like meeting Barb again and Aaron and stuff, and then Maisie and David Tennant die a little bit.
Yeah.
If the heat didn't get me first.
Yeah, and Hannah Ray's saying she met Gray, who is the creator of Genlock at Comic-Con a while ago, which I met him at RTX last year and kind of made a magical girl joke to him because so the context of the joke, so there was the Saturday morning cartoons panel where he, Miles, and Carrie are all in pajamas and we just watch cartoons the entire time, and this is like 8 a.m. in the morning. It was like, I kind of low-key hated myself for going to that panel because, one, they watched some really weird cartoons. 2, I went to bed at like 3:30 the night before and had to get up at 6 to get in cosplay. So I'm like, I am death. But second the panel ends, my friends and I dart out of there to head to the Austin Convention Center. And somehow Gray was like a whole block ahead of us in normal clothes, no longer in pajamas. And we're like, how? How? And I'm like,
he has powers.
I'm like, did you pull a magical girl transformation to, like, beat us here and be in normal clothes? And he thought that was really funny, so.
Grace seems, again, like a really lovely person, too.
Dude, anyone from Rooster Teeth are really great. I haven't had a bad experience with anyone.
Yeah,
which is
actually,
really
thinking about it, no, not at all.
Yeah. I think the only one you could kind of low-key have a bad experience with, but it's only because they're being in their, like, online persona, is maybe Gus. but it's kind of like a Gus was rude to me. That was awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't like Gus was mean to me. Here's my vlog. You know?
Yeah, exactly. You can tell it's like it's not actually how he is as a person. Like it's quite obvious.
Hey, there's a Bumblebee in the chat.
Oh god, there's probably loads of them. I haven't actually looked at the chat at all.
It's just like same.
Oh yeah, there's loads of bees in this chat.
Yeah, Focus Boy.
Unsurprising.
Yeah, seriously. Focus Boy in the chat is saying, I got a picture with the full voice cast of RWBY at Dallas Fan Expo, and I was really happy about that. That is amazing.
It's hard.
Yeah. I will hopefully be meeting the whole RWBY cast in Las Vegas next month at Level Up
awesome.
Expo. So if anyone in the chat's going to Level Up Expo and you want to hit me up, you got me. Yeah, Bumblebee's been like, I've been spotted.
Yeah. Hides.
Yeah. Oh, Donovan Eagle said people used to beg Michael to scream at them. No, I can verify that still happens. So, man, I'm trying to remember. I was at RTX. I was in line for a photo for my session with someone. I think it might have been Shannon and Jen Brown. So, like, Carolina and Wash. And in the next aisle is Lindsay and Michael. And someone's like, can you, like, scream at my phone for my friend that's not here? And so Michael's just screaming, like, where are you, man? You gotta be at RTX. Your loser friend had to show up for you. Like, Jesus. And then Lindsay and, like, RWBY is, like, trying to yell but not swear at the same time. And I just thought that was, like, the most adorable thing to watch, like, secondhand.
Oh.
Like, yeah. It was really great. Yeah.
They're goals. 100% goals.
Seriously. Yeah. And you're engaged, right?
Yeah. I don't know why I said goals when I'm like, that made me sound like I was single. But they are so cute, I have to point out.
Yeah. I'm like, you're almost there. You and your significant other just have to, like, become that persona, you know?
Yeah. I don't think we're far off, to be honest. We just need to start screaming at people.
Yeah. Oh,
completely randomly.
Yeah, just no. You get people request to yell at you for you to yell at them. Then you're there.
That would be confusing since she's cosplaying new Neo outfit on the Sunday. So if she just starts screaming at people, they'll be like, "You're so out of character."
No, it's the reason why Neo never talks, because she can only yell.
She can only yell at like a really high pitch.
It's her only. High pitched Neo just screaming.
Yeah.
We need a chibi episode of that. Someone gives Neo like a voice box, and that's the only thing it can do.
Maybe that's why she's coded after ice cream. It's because screams, ice screams.
Yeah, you scream ice cream. We all scream for ice cream.
Makes sense now.
An awkward moment when the ice cream screams back. Yeah, so if anyone wants Xiao Long and their fiance to scream at them, come to RTX and find them.
You've made a terrible mistake. There's nothing worse than being shouted at by two Scottish people.
Yeah, if VYTALCast gets approved for another panel and you're there in the audience, we could have like a good 2 minutes of people just asking you guys to scream at them. And
just be like, can you please insult me in your best like Scottish accent? Use your best Scottish slurs at me.
the guardians that are like manning the mixer stream are like, should we mute the mic?
I don't even know what they're saying, but it doesn't sound good.
They're like, does it count as swearing if you can't understand it? Like,
that'd be so funny.
Oh, dude. Actually, I might want that in a vlog. Like...
Yeah, I'm planning to vlog RTX anyway, so I'll make sure to like tie in with people. I'm not sure if there's going to be like a RWBY Reactors panel or not. I don't know if anyone's like actually going to be organising that.
I am. VYTALCast.
Oh wait, you're doing.
Yeah,
you're doing the VYTALCast.
Yeah.
Is that usually like like you get some of like the RWBY Reactors on as well?
Yeah.
Right.
So my lineup is, if I can find it, so I changed up a bit of my lineup from last year, and some of the people from last year are back again. Okay. So let's see, group info. So I got Cal from I don't want to, I keep forgetting Calaxon, and then I got Bree from Fandom Reactions. I got Someone's Insanity again, and I got Jake Retake. So
cool.
I think I got a solid lineup this year. And
yeah, no, that'll be pretty entertaining.
yeah, no, last year's panel was so amazing, and I loved it, every bit of it, and just everyone that like helped push for it last year, and everyone that showed up, and it was such a fun time.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for all the community events actually, because at RTX London they didn't have it like that. You could submit events, so that's going to be really interesting to see.
Yeah, and I'm kind of waiting for them to open up ambassadors and see if I could try to apply for that and see how far I can get.
Yeah.
So
that would be cool.
yeah, I mean, I would love to. Like, it's like, hey, as much as if I can get as involved with RTX as possible, like that's been a low key dream of mine. And oh, okay, chat is now wondering why I'm wearing fingerless gloves. I bought compression gloves for arthritis this week, and today arthritis was really killing me, so I put them on.
I just thought it was like a fashion choice. I didn't care.
That's kind of like the small plus.
Yeah.
I went to Barnes & Noble looking like the most hipster person ever wearing these gloves. Because I had like this nice... It was kind of like a Sherlock jacket. And then I had like a leather briefcase, like laptop case with me. And then I had these gloves on. And they're like, it's just a slight wind chill outside. You don't have to go all hipster in the winter on us. And I'm like, okay.
Chill out, my dude. It's not your business.
Yeah. Oh, John Ronald saying it's Genlock pilot gear. I'm going with that answer forever.
Yeah, now. There you go. It's just so you can hop into your Holon wherever you need.
Yeah, seriously, plug me in.
Yeah.
I'm like the opposite of the computer guy. What's his name? Is it Vic? I think from Red vs. Blue, where he's like, unplug me, send me into the void.
That's how I sometimes feel on YouTube.
Yeah.
I wish I could unplug myself. It's really hard.
Seriously, and like I've been seeing some like big name YouTubers like saying they're deleting social media off their phone, and
yeah, I'm like, honestly, understand, to be honest, but it's hard like to cut yourself off completely.
I wish I could. The only problem is my work break. I'd have nothing to do. And
yeah,
also,
exactly.
I use my work break as like time to like promote my YouTube channel on like Instagram and Twitter and Discord. So I'm like,
yeah,
I can't do that. And especially since YouTube got rid of their like auto tweet feature, which is the stupidest thing. They're like, it's not personalized. I'm like, you type out the tweet. Like, how is that not personal?
It's just stupid.
It's just a scheduled tweet. Come on. Yeah. It's like, I'm so mad about that now. Like, because I've been doing all my Genlock reaction videos this week. Like, I've had them recorded since, like, a couple weeks ago. I've just been uploading.
But you're just uploading them, yeah.
Yeah, but now it's like, I have to manually go to the video, copy the URL, and paste it somewhere else, and I'm just disappointed. Like, YouTube.
Yes.
You could be better.
They could.
Yeah.
They could be.
Yeah. Donovan Eagle is a Red vs. Blue fan because he just did 555 VICK. Which is how Vic does the thing. If you don't want to talk, email, and don't you click, just call me up 555 VICK. Wow, he has some of the lines memorized.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm loving the chat today.
The chat is, I'm just going through and I'm like, oh dear. I'm checking that everyone's behaving mainly. Seems to be.
Yeah. Although I'm happy Bethany's Life loves my lineup for the panel, and so, also Focus Boy as well, because I'm like, yay, I picked good people. I mean, I picked people I know well too, so.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you don't want to run a panel with people that you're not sure exactly how they're gonna handle it.
I had to make some changes because of that, because it was like, oh, I thought I knew you. Then you start being a little different, and now I'm like, maybe I don't want that in the panel, so...
It's also just, like, people will act very differently, like, on the computer to how they're going to be in front of an audience. It's, like, a completely different ballgame as well.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure, like, I don't know, that's something I always had to think about for the panel, is like, okay, who do people like, who do I get along with, and like, who do I like, and like, I don't want to have someone on there that like I hardly ever talk to and be like,
no, because they'll not feel like they can speak as much either. Like if people are comfortable, they'll be a lot more good at talking and whatnot. So it just makes sense.
yeah, for sure. And some people like something kind of funny. So like Lorelai Lee. Do you know who she is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she and I, we both go through like social anxiety stuff, but
Yeah.
like obviously when you have like 150 people in an audience just to listen to you talk in person, it's a little intimidating. But like we know how to like help her like talk louder, because like we have microphones in front of us, but the microphones don't go to the overhead speakers, so you have to like act like it's a play and project. And so, so whenever she talked or like someone else talked, we had to go, can you be a little louder, please?
Yeah.
A little louder for the people in the back.
Well, there's 150 people as well. Like, you're gonna have to talk pretty loud so everyone can hear.
Yeah. I think Joshua might have been one of the people you said you hoped behaved. He's like, where's the nut button? I'm like,
oh no. I do have the nut button, like, handy.
Oh, do
Always
you?
got it handy for... Yeah. Where the heck is it?
Because Carrie had that, the fan service panel as well.
Yeah. It's like someone gave us the nut button, and then it's just became a bit of a meme in our streams ever since.
We stole this from Miles and Carrie. Now it is yours. Use it wisely.
Yeah, it's like we've completely renamed Genlock to Gen Nut for some reason. I don't really know why.
I think that's the canon name. I think we've just been saying it wrong the entire time with that lock part. Like,
yeah,
dude,
exactly.
Genlock is man, it's such a good show. Like I love it a lot. Like what are some of your thoughts on it?
I have really enjoyed, now that we've watched the finale, it's like I have really enjoyed it. There's definitely things that I'd like to see more of in the second season, but
what would you like to see more of?
Probably a bit more info on the Union, but if anybody's seen the finale, then they know that that's pretty likely going to be quite a big thing next season. So
yeah, for sure.
Like, I think they are going to address it. I think this season was more about like defining the characters and who they were as people.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know. There was something I misunderstood in the finale with Chase during like the upload time or like the run out time going out on him.
Yeah.
So you know, Dr. Weezer, he was like, "Oh yeah, if you're uploaded too long, then there's the chance of like your neural system being changed so much you can't re-enter your body."
Yeah.
And you know, Chase obviously like went beyond that limit. And they made a reference, but I was too tired and too busy processing like fighting and all that to like go, oh wait, did they just say his body died or something like that? And
yeah, it seemed to.
They mentioned that, and when the lady mentioned the medical facilities, I thought she was saying, oh yeah, we might be able to get Chase's body fixed, but they were talking about the other guy, the guy that went into a coma. And I was like,
Leon. Yeah.
I thought they talked about both Leon and Chase, and
no. Unfortunately not.
Apparently he's just forever trapped in a genlock now. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's actually truly tragic.
It is tragic. I'm like, come on. Yeah. Get our boy back in his body, and like, I hope they didn't just unplug him, because I hope they could like find a way to recode him so he could fit back into his body.
Could you just put him in? I mean, I suppose it's not really the same thing. Just put him in another robot, because he's already kind of in a robot. like a smaller human-sized robot. Like Cal, like the one that Dr. Weller's brain's in, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like that was another idea I had, or like you know, the guy that Dr. Weller like hacked, so he only spoke in like Shakespeare puns or something. Like that. Yeah, like put him in that guy or something. I don't know, but I really hope they don't just unplug his organic body. I'm like, come on, there was hope there. And also Cammy, I don't know, I feel like Cammy being able to like change her like personality and like her aggression and anxiety levels might be an avenue they could go with Chase to put him back in his body. I don't know.
Maybe if you adjusted it so that it was like his neurology still matched in some way, but I don't know, maybe that would like mess up his brain the same way that Nemesis's brain was messed up.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Although I would say what?
Sorry, I'll let you go.
Oh, I was gonna say they do have the advantage of like they got the whole network system,
Yeah,
and like they don't have to break into it like the Union had to do with Nemesis. So it's like maybe, and Cammy already found like the personality sliders, so it's like maybe Cammy could find something in Chase and just be like, oh hey, like this is where you were before you stayed out too long, and here's where you are now. We're just gonna like slide you down to where you were, and oh hey, you could go back in your body. Wonderful. There
you go, fixed.
Yeah. Hannah Ray is asking, is Cammy like the meta from Red vs. Blue? No, not at all. Or at least I would hope not.
No, she's a good girl.
Yeah, someone brought up in my Discord that there's a chance that Cammy might get hacked, or like her personality sliders might go out of control next season. I hope not.
I mean, to be fair, like she's the one character we've used the sliders, so I mean, could potentially happen. Yeah,
because I think she's the only one that had it unlocked as well. So it's like it would make
the rest of them had no idea how to get into that stuff.
Yeah, she had to go through all these firewalls and stuff. She's like, I'm a hacker. Boom.
Yeah,
no longer scared.
I'm just gonna fuck with your program, Dr. Weller. Sorry.
Dr. Weller is just like, what am I gonna do with these kids? Like,
I still want to die a little bit that he called them his kids. I was just like, oh, feely wheelies.
He's like the estranged father figure you always wanted but never knew.
Yeah, and just David Tennant, like any role that he touches basically is even
gold.
When he's an evil character, you're just like, oh, I love you.
Like Mr. Purple and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, David Tennant, like I just love that guy so much. In any role I find him in, I'm just like, yes. Or like when they announced him for Genlock,
yeah,
like I couldn't believe my ears when they said that. I was like, wait.
But they just kept throwing them out. They just were like, oh, by the way, David Tennant, oh, Maisie Williams, and everyone was just like, what?
Yeah. They're like, oh yeah, here's a video of Michael B. Jordan playing an arcade game and talking about Genlock. What?
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, it was wild being in that room when they made the announcement, because the whole room just like freaked out. We're like, no, you're pulling our leg, Miles and Carrie, and great. Yeah. Like, come on, who's actually playing the character? Oh, you weren't joking.
It's just nice that they're like invested in something that probably isn't going to make like them relatively much money, but that is enjoyable, and that's why they're doing it. Like, I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, and John Ronald mentioned Dakota Fanning as well, which I love.
She's also
her.
done really good.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about Miranda's character. They haven't really used her a whole lot.
Yeah, well, for having such like a big name in your cast, to be fair, I think she has been pretty underused, really, which is a shame, because she could potentially be a really interesting character going forward, but I feel like she was definitely sidelined a lot.
Yeah, and Dakota Fanning has a great range as well, so it's like, take advantage of that, please. Like, you didn't hire like a no name. Oh, and Mr. Madman Productions is mentioning they had Elijah Wood in Red vs. Blue, which is true. When are they going to get Elijah back? Well, probably not, because the AIs are gone, but Elijah Wood, he was a surprise big name. Did you hear about him in Red vs. Blue?
No, not particularly, but like that is funny that they managed to pull a big name like that. I mean, they obviously can.
That was before RWBY. Like, they got him in before RWBY, and I was like, okay.
I guess if they're just fans of the stuff as well, like, they're probably just more inclined to do that sort of stuff too.
Yeah, and like Zachary Levi, like, he's been a fan as well, and he was in the Bloodfest movie. Like, he's shown up on the podcast a couple times before Bloodfest, but it's still kind of funny to see him show up, and it's like, oh, he's in an actual production for Rooster Teeth. Yeah. So, wait. Inspector Who is saying, so spoiler, what do you think about the end credit scene of Genlock?
Ooh. I knew there was gonna be one, but it wasn't what I expected. But it was very, very interesting.
I have to say, the end credit scene to Genlock was better than the end credit scene to Captain Marvel.
I have not seen Captain Marvel yet, so
good movie. I won't spoil it.
Yeah.
Although
I'm
I'll say
on Sunday.
the after credit scene, like the after, not the mid credit scene, the after
right.
credit scene, it's nothing too important. Like,
so I'll leave halfway, like halfway through the credits. I can go after the first one.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine. But oh man, I was so sad when like what's his name in Genlock, the spy guy,
Sinclair.
Yeah, Sinclair. I forgot it was a gas station. Sorry, that's how I try to remember him, was because we have Sinclair gas stations.
Yeah.
So I was so disappointed when he turned out to be a spy and he died, and then they showed him after the credits. I was like, Blaine! Yes! Mm-hmm. I love Blaine Gibson. He's a
good
man.
Boy.
Yeah, he's a good man. Yeah, like, I felt so bad for him, like, the week episode 2 came out, because it was like, episode 2 came out, his character gets killed off, and then on the RT podcast, he kind of gets outed that he and Alana broke up.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, rough. This is not Blaine's week at all.
Insert Zuko, that's rough, buddy.
yeah. Yeah, Zuko just like shows up out of nowhere. That's rough, buddy. They're like, how'd you get
here?
I was like, Blaine, no, but Sinclair's alive, so I'm like, Blaine, yes. So it's a
yeah, he'll be happy to have another role, but that was not where I expected it to go.
Yeah, I mean, it honestly came out of left field because we would have just assumed Sinclair was killed by the Union.
Yeah, but obviously he was a bit more plucky than they thought.
Yeah. Kind of gives me hope for the sister and the mom of Chase as well. And I think it might have been episode 3. No. Episode... When is the one where they go into the ether?
The ether, yeah. I think that might have been the 3rd episode, actually. It's just, is it not the same episode where Cammy gets her head ripped off?
Yeah, Cammy got her head ripped off in episode 4. So yeah, episode 3. It showed his sister in the background.
Yeah.
Like, walking around. And I thought that was going to get brought up. Because I was like...
Yeah.
That's his sister. And it looked like the sister was looking at them, too. Like, she saw Chase and was like, is that Chase? But then they left the ether before... Well, the ether got shut down before then, so...
Yeah, because I wouldn't imagine the Union would have an ether, like, equivalent. So I'm going to guess that they're not in the Union. But they just don't know where Chase is. I'm not sure exactly how they're going to play that one out.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're marked as, like, missing or...
Yeah.
Lost, so it's like, who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I don't know. Do you think there's like another sibling in the family that we don't know about for Chase that might be
potentially? Because what gives me more concern is what Nemesis said about like Chase, because he didn't say just a copy, he said copies. And I'm like, oh my god, of course, they could have made more copies, like, of different personality types.
If they, like, next season there's, like, 3 Nemesis instead of 1.
Yeah. Like, just one, I think we were talking about it in the reaction, potentially one coming, like, not as unhinged, that they realised that going with, like, the sort of tormented version of Chase isn't the way to go, but one that's, like, more calm and calculating might be the way to go. Could be really cool.
That would be so devastating.
Yeah.
That would be freaky. I'm
all
for it, but that would be freaky.
Exactly. Yeah. I just love me a bit of angst, so I think that'd be really angsty.
Dude, they've been really doing good angst in Genlock, and Volume 6 did some great angst as well. So
yeah, we call it Yankst if it's RWBY though.
Yeah, it's always Yankst and you're Yangry, you know?
Yeah. The intellectuals of RWBY fandom.
And they got to start it off with a Yang as well.
Yeah.
What do you expect for Volume 7?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm going to guess from the way some people have talking that there'll be like 70% of the fandom left for Volume 7.
No.
I don't actually think so. I think the fandom will just keep growing.
Yeah.
But Volume 7 I'm really hopeful for, because Atlas has been like this hugely built up location, and we're finally getting to actually explore it. So I think it's going to be... I think Volume 7 is going to be one of those volumes, like Volume 3, that sort of defines the second half of the show until we get to like the last volume.
Oh yeah.
I think that's how important it is to the plot, so I'm really excited for it.
Same. I'm super excited, and I really want to see more of the Schnee family again.
Yeah.
And particularly the mom. Because
definitely.
we haven't seen her yet, and it's just like...
It's weird that we haven't seen her yet.
Yeah, and like, we just know she's a depressed wine mom somewhere.
I love that theory that she's the Winter Maiden, but because she's like just drunk all the time and whatnot, she's never like actually tapped into her powers whatsoever. I think that'd be wild.
Dude, that would be... she like finally slams divorce papers on the table and like frost.
Yeah.
Hannah Ray is asking, what if in the finale of Genlock you see a Covenant arrive and the Spartan program initiated? ? That'd be an interesting way to bring Red versus Blue into Genlock. I don't know how.
Crossover.
Yeah. I think Rooster Teeth has talked about crossover episodes within their own IPs. And the difficulty really is Red versus Blue because it's 343.
Yeah.
343 and Microsoft own Halo, and they're like, well, we can't really have Halo mixed with RWBY and mixed with Camp. Like, there's still certain things they can't do with Halo Spartans. Yeah, but Inspector Who's saying, yes, please, to Winter Mama Schnee. There was an interesting theory I saw once Adam's face was revealed, or more particularly his eyes, and like the Schnee Dust Company logo, was that what if Weiss's mom had an affair with a Faunus, and that Adam was like a half sibling of Weiss, and but you know, now that he's dead, it's like I think that theory is dead, you know,
sunk, you could say, like Adam.
Yeah. With a loud thud and then in the water. Yeah, the theory was, I think it might have been Semblance of Sanity I was talking to, but they said like, yeah, what if, you know, he was like the bastard son basically, and Jacques, once he found out, like branded him as like a revenge on the mom, so to say, and kind of be like, I owe your life and I'm branding your child, even to like demonstrate that. So it was an interesting like Schnee family dynamic, and but I don't think that will be. I don't think
Adam's the guy for that, if that's the case. I think it's more likely that Adam worked in the mines, like forced to work in the mines, and that there's probably other Faunus that are branded as well. I feel like that's what that really meant, was it's going to lead into their Weiss really been like, oh my god, the Schnee Dust Company is so bad. I knew it was bad, but this is how bad.
Yeah, that's actually something I don't want to say like I'm hoping to see, and like, oh yeah, I want to see this, but like it would be nice to see like the discrimination a little bit more.
I think we have to now, like, at this point with Atlas, if we don't see discrimination against the Faunus, like, it's like, why the build up? Because Atlas is the least tolerant, we know that.
Yeah, they're just like total military state, and like there's a huge class difference, you know, like literally with like Atlas up in the air and Mantle down on the ground, and like one looking like heaven and one just looking like it's hell down below.
And it now makes sense, because I remember everyone was bitching in Volume 4 that like they never showed the outside of Atlas, they only showed the inside the Schnee Manor. But I was rewatching some of Volume 4 the other day, and I was like, oh my god, there's clues about it, the fact that the half the city is like above the sky.
Oh, really?
In Volume 4.
Really?
Like just the way that they frame shots, like there's always clouds like outside Weiss's windows and like airships going past. But you just thought, oh, maybe it's high up, but it's obviously literally like off.
Yeah, it's not even on the ground. That's crazy. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a little rewatch of her scenes in Volume 4 for that, and with that info now.
Yeah. Focus Boy in the chat is saying his friends and him think that Weiss may take over the company in the next volume.
I don't know if it would be next volume. I feel like that's definitely her end game.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's next volume.
I think it'd be a lot to handle in one volume.
Yeah, definitely. With all the relic stuff, like I feel like that's a bit further down the line.
Yeah, I think if anything, they might start like a bit of a change in Atlas that could lead to like a possible chance later down for her to take it back.
Yeah.
But who knows? I've also seen theories that Atlas is going to fall on top of Mantle.
Yeah, that's one I'm pretty keen on happening, which is pretty warped, but I think it would be very, very dramatic and interesting for the show to do something like that. Because it's so tempting.
Yeah, it's so tempting. It's like, come on, pull the Age of Ultron on us. Have all the robot soldiers turn evil, drop the city. And also, like, Semblance of Sanity brought a comparison to another anime, but they think that Ironwood might just drop Atlas on top of Salem in an attempt to stop her.
That would be wild.
It would be wild.
I feel like, I don't know if you could, like, redeem Iron. I don't know if he did something like that level, because people are gonna die if you drop a whole city.
It's like, did he evacuate it first? What's the whole context of this going on? But they think he might just get so paranoid to that point where he kind of does a Machiavellian, where it's like, well, ends justify the means, and just drops all of these people on her. But
I mean, I feel like Salem's plan is going to be like cause internal strife in Atlas, and then use that opportunity with whatever agents she has in Atlas to like drop the gravity dust, whatever it is that's making it float. Yeah, like take that down, because what easier way to like screw Atlas over than just to like drop it out of the sky?
Yeah, and they could probably frame it on like the White Fang, or like they could easily make it like start a war. Although there's no Atlas, like they're like the big military country, so it's like, is it going to be Menagerie and like all the other countries that's left fighting each other? Like,
yeah, I mean, she could like literally frame Atlas like collapsing on Vale, because Vale, obviously, with what happened in the
like getting back at them.
Yeah, exactly. She could like. I feel like that's maybe what Watts and Tyrion are up to whilst they're there. Is they're trying to like plot a political takedown as well as a literal takedown.
and they could probably frame it on Team RWBY as well. Because they're like, look, the Beacon students are here. They want revenge for what happened because their friends died at the tournament and stuff.
Yeah,
oh, man.
Like, look what they just did to Atlas, the monsters, and like keep everyone's eyes on it is.
I just hope we're not setting expectations too high for Volume 7.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to be great, and they're probably going to be completely different from what we're saying, but don't make a city floating unless you want it to collapse. Come on.
Yeah, seriously, it's like that's a bit of a safety flaw right there. Like, what if someone walks off the edge while they're drunk? That's where Miss Schnee went.
No.
Bumblebee is asking, do you think that we will maybe see a Penny 2.0 in Volume 7? And I'm a huge supporter of a Penny 2.0. I just don't know exactly how I want to see a Penny 2.0.
Yeah, it's like, how angsty do you need to go with that one? I feel like that is 100% gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
They wouldn't have to set up with her dad, like her creator, otherwise.
I've seen a theory that there's potentially 100 pennies. Because 100 pennies make $1, so they're like, oh yeah, it would make sense that like they have like 100 of them. But
that would be so messed up.
Would they pull a penny? Would they pull like a Wall-E, where like eventually the second penny becomes the penny we know through like the power of friendship and all that? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Or are they gonna pull a Genlock on us and have it be like, oh yeah, this is the person you knew, but it's not them?
No. Yeah. I feel like the worst one, which I would kind of want to be, is that it's basically the same penny in terms of personality and everything else, but holds none of the memories of the previous Penny. I feel like that one is like going to be the gut punch to go for.
Oh gosh, like she does the whole salutations and everything, and and Ruby's like, Penny, you're alive, and then it's like who are you?
Yeah, exactly. And Ruby would just be devastated.
Oh no. No, not my nuts and bolts.
I do love some nuts and bolts angst.
Oh man, I love them. Like, gosh, like just volume 2, like they were really good pals. I liked them a lot. Oh, John Ronald saying worked for Digimon Try. Why not? Wow, did that happen in Digimon? I have
probably.
No
Digimon's ran so long now that literally everything's happened in Digimon at this point.
Yeah, them and Pokemon are just like, we ran out of ideas, so we're recycling them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bumblebee saying, that would be so sad.
It would be, but we all want it.
Yeah. Mr. Madman Productions is asking, thoughts on Cinder getting a redemption arc or how her alliance with Neo will go?
Very badly for Cinder, I think.
Yeah, I could see Neo kind of backstabbing Cinder a bit.
Yeah.
Because...
Oh, yeah.
So, in Volume 4, I had some RWBY theories, and I had a Neo theory in particular. And Volume 6 almost completely fulfilled my theory to a T, but they flipped one bit, and I was so honored, but so upset at the same time. Because like I predicted it like a whole two years before. I said, okay, here's how I think Neo is gonna re-enter RWBY. I think she's gonna be hunting down Team Ranger because the last person she saw Roman with was RWBY, so she's gonna want revenge with RWBY. She's gonna fight RWBY, but in the fight, RWBY's gonna be like, hey, I'm not the one that killed him. He got killed by a Grimm, and Cinder's responsible for all the Grimm. And so then Neo is gonna point, her aim at Cinder and go after Cinder. So instead, they brought Neo back, still looking for revenge on Roman, but going after Cinder, fights Cinder. Cinder says, no, you're going to join me, and we're going to go kill Little Red. And I'm like, you flipped my theory. Although there's still a chance for her to flip again. But I feel like Neo flipping sides so much. Yeah.
Yeah, Neo just, Neo does what Neo wants. Neo is not loyal to any... The only person she was ever loyal to was Roman, and Roman's gone, so she's literally only loyal to his memory. And in her eyes, Cinder's responsible for what happened, so... And RWBY too. I'm sure she'll still try and have a go at RWBY as well. But Cinder's getting it first.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I hope so. Loses her second eye, at least.
Oh, yeah. That'd be pretty brutal.
She's just, daredeviling it for the rest of the time.
Just crawling around with her grimoire.
Yeah, the grimoire. The little beetle that she absorbed the fall maiden powers with comes out to be her eye. She's looking around with her hands.
That would be really, really awkward to watch.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about Cinder redeeming herself. I've seen a lot of comparisons to Zuko on looks alone and stuff.
I suppose with the face thing, but Zuko at least showed remorse for things he'd done, whereas Cinder literally doesn't seem to have regretted anything that she's done.
Yeah, and also, I'd hate to say it, but if Cinder gets redeemed, then people are gonna go, but what about Adam?
That's true, yeah. No, Cinder's not... Adam, Cinder, they were never going to be redeemed. Emerald and Mercury, I think, would have a bit more, of a say on... They've both done really bad stuff, but... Emerald has shown remorse, at least.
Yeah, Emerald more than Mercury, especially because of Volume 3 and 4. She was like, oh my gosh, what are we doing? And
yeah,
yeah. But Mercury, I don't know. Some people are saying, his talk with Emerald in Volume 6 is, a sign of a chance of redemption, but I'm not entirely buying it yet.
I feel like if Mercury... I feel like the more time Mercury is spending away from, his dad, and now away from Cinder, he's starting to sort of drift away from the really bad mentality he had.
So he's
because Emerald's just not the same person.
Yeah, so Mercury's kind of like becoming his own person rather than imitating the people around him.
Exactly, because I feel like he was very impressionable, like whether it was his dad or like Cinder, and he just wants to like prove himself because obviously with his dad like made him lose a semblance
Mm.
and basically portrayed him as weak, and then Cinder also obviously saw something in him and he wanted to again prove himself to Cinder.
Mm-hmm.
But now that Cinder's gone and Salem's obviously a bit of like a wild card that he can't trust, he's not as keen on following that path anymore.
Yeah.
Never gonna mean he's like a good person, but like he's not the same as, I don't think he's the same as Cinder.
Yeah,
at all.
He's more of a gray character.
Yeah, potentially.
Color scheme and everything.
Yeah, exactly. I just really like Mercury and Emerald's like dynamic. I kind of ship them, to be honest, at this point as well.
Yeah. A trash man with an Emerald.
Trash ship.
Yeah, because in Volume 3 on Tumblr, people will call him the Trash Man so many times.
Yeah.
Especially once like he faked having his leg broken. Like, look at that Trash Man.
He is my trash son, but he's a bad boy. But I want him to be happy, which is very
stinky boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And John Ronald's saying he did look freaked out by the flying monkeys, so yeah. I guess that could be a chance of like him starting to see, like, he's like, oh, maybe I went down the wrong path a bit.
Yeah, like he's never gonna be like a good guy running like an ice cream shop or anything like that with Neo. That'd be a really spin off. But he like might not be going around murdering people anymore.
Yeah.
It should be a bonus.
Neo just adopts him and Emerald to like live their own little lives as common thieves rather than like a grand scheme of evil.
Yeah, like see that I would be absolutely fine with that. Is like they're not going to murder anyone, they're just like common thieves. Yeah. Comrades in arms, that's basically it. That I'd be kind of okay with for them.
Yeah. Mr. Madman Productions seems to be on your side with shipping Emerald and Mercury together. He says Mercury is one of his main ships. So
yeah, I feel like the show's given us a lot of fuel for that, to be fair to, especially the last volume, so it's like, understandable.
They're like, for the last 3 volumes, they've been in the same room together, alone practically. Feelings will come.
All the time.
Yeah. Just by proximity, they'll fall in love.
That's what happens when it's a guy and a girl.
Yeah, and Craig Morin in the chat is saying, thanks for sharing the RWBY love. And you're welcome. So yeah.
Always happy to share my love for RWBY.
Seriously. It's like the whole reason why we have YouTube channels now.
Yeah. So. Like I'm sure you're the same, neither of us like make an income particularly off of like our RWBY videos. It's purely because we actually like doing them and like the audience and community.
Yeah. Yeah, like I always wanted to use like VYTALCast as a way to like bring the community together and like unite each other under like our love for RWBY. That was actually some good feedback I got back from like Rooster Teeth at RTX being like, we really like what you do with that show. Keep it going. I'm like, thanks.
It is good. It's good. Like, and Rooster Teeth's obviously so built on like its community that it makes sense for there to be communities within YouTube and stuff like that that interact and whatnot. It's really nice.
Yeah, and it's really grown over the past year or couple of years. Like I would say Volume 4 it just like blossomed into a huge community.
Yeah, it's funny how like there's like critics of it, but then there's also like critics that are sort of reactors, and there's like weird crossovers in all sorts of ways.
Yeah, someone like marked me as a RWBY critic, and I'm like, do I count as a RWBY critic? I have hardly said anything negative about the show. Like,
I suppose if you're just reviewing it, like you count as a critic.
Yeah, I mean, VYTALCast is like as close to reviews as I've gotten.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Because critique doesn't necessarily need to be like actually negative.
Yeah, like, and I always try to be constructive as well. Like,
yeah.
I don't want to just be like, oh, they suck because they did this cause reasons. I just be like, this could have been done better. Like, delivery wasn't exactly spot on. Like, I think with the Volume 6 last 2 episodes, I was a bit that way with Cordovan specifically.
Her turnaround, it was quite sharp. Yeah, I'd agree with that. And I think there's a really big question to be asked about how they were going to structure future volumes, because I feel like the runtime of episodes really affected that sort of last half of the volume.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Genlock, as much as it was less episodes, like the longer run times, I felt like it benefited the actual flow of the story more.
Yeah, and especially during like the last fights, like the Adam versus Bumblebee fight, and then like Team Ranger, I guess, versus Cordovan. I just felt like pacing was a bit off. I'm like, maybe I would have done with the episode lengths that we had, like have one fight be one episode and have the other fight the other episode.
I think that's what would have worked better, to be honest. But like, it would have been quite difficult because no one would have been invested in the mech fight, because like we knew that was how that was kind of going to end. The Adam fight, obviously, a lot more stakes there.
Yeah. I mean, there's always the weakest link in a volume, you know, like there's always going to be the one episode that doesn't match the rest of the volume, I think.
Yeah. So. And I get that people thought that it was like a bit of a tonal whiplash between the mech fight and the Adam fight, because again, like the context and the stakes were completely different. So switching between the two was a bit jarring.
Yeah, it was, and it was like ironically like anticlimactic as well.
Yeah,
because it's like right when you're getting invested in the Adam fight, they suddenly switch to this other fight, and you're like, I don't care about this.
Yeah, because it was that jump between whatever episode ended. Yang lands, fights Adam for a bit, then that episode ends, and the next episode starts with the mech fight again. Oh, but I want the Adam fight, and then that starts like halfway through.
Dude, I'm trying to think of like how it will come out on Blu-ray, and it's all one movie form. I'm like, that's gonna suck, because they do like a quick cliffhanger, and then it's like immediately back to that. They like sandwich the robot fight with the Adam cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is just not much of a hook, nowhere near the same hook.
Yeah, it doesn't work in the movie format as it does in the episodic format.
No, I think I'd definitely like to see more arcs like the... I mean, the Adam stuff had to happen. Like, that was always how the cards were going to fall.
Oh, yeah.
Those three were always going to, like, have that confrontation. But I want to see more arcs like the apathy arc. I thought that was really good.
Dude, I loved that so much, because it was just, like, a small little side quest, I guess. But it was really great for character development and, like, seeing character interactions.
Sometimes side quests can be like the most interesting like thing out with the main arc, and like you said, you can learn a lot more about characters in side quests.
Yeah, I really hope we get some of that. And with Volume 7 being in Atlas, I think the Faunus discrimination, and then like Atlas military, and then we also have like the Relic. I hope we have like enough there to get that again.
I think potentially, like I've seen people chatting about this. What would be pretty interesting is if they do split up the team a little bit, so have some of the team go down to like the mines and Mantle, and then some stay in Atlas, and the potential angst that could come from that if they're separated by force, even. Who knows? Man.
Yeah, like I could see like Blake probably getting forced, or at least they try to force her to go down to Mantle.
Yeah, I think that would be intensely angsty, but would be great.
Yeah. Like, I've also seen some people saying they want Weiss down in Mantle and Blake up in Atlas, and we just see, like, the total contrast of, like, how they're treated down in those places. Because meanwhile, we have Blake being discriminated against for being a Faunus, or maybe she put her bow back on. And there's Weiss seeing like what her family's practically done for the last couple decades to these couple.
Would be super. I feel like Weiss is definitely gonna like go to Mantle at some point. It's just like how they go about it. It's gonna be hard, whatever they do.
Yeah, but I trust Miles and Carrie. I trust they'll do it. Well.
I think so too. I think if we have like 2 volumes, an Atlas potentially would be pretty decent. Like, we'll give them a lot more time to build it as a location and to have like a longer arc there.
Yeah, not have it like...
because it doesn't stop people going to Vacuo. This is the thing.
Yeah, and it's not like how they did with the Haven arc, where they're like, yeah, we'll just squeeze all of this into one volume, and they don't do a whole lot with it.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't. It didn't. I think they've learned from that. Thankfully, I don't think we'll get a repeat of like the last half of Volume 5 again, which is good to know.
Yeah, Volume 5, you beautiful mess. Like,
there's still stuff in Volume 5 I love, but like overall, yeah.
I felt like Volume 5's conversation scenes were like really good and very cinematically done, but just like overall as a whole, it's like they made some sacrifices here and there that I'm like, I don't know if that was like worth it. But
I think it was the way that some characters like were sort of stupid for the sake of being stupid. Like, I can never forget that bit where Blake sets her house on fire. I mean, it's so funny to watch now, but like it is so stupid when you watch it back.
Yeah, for sure. But I did love the scene with you know, Blake talking to Weiss in Volume 5 in the room.
Like, the chat with Yang about Blake, that was one of the best scenes.
Yeah, like Weiss just being teen mom and everything.
I loved that scene.
I think that was probably like the best thing to come out of Volume 5. Like, even if they weren't like, even if it wasn't like a Bumblebee talk and it was just a talk about Blake, you know, like, great scene overall. And it's just like, I love this.
It built some more depth to Weiss and Yang's relationship, which was really that Yang knew that she could rely on Weiss as someone to talk to and not just like keep it all in, which was really nice to see.
Yeah.
Or should I say Schnee? Oh,
yeah.
I hate myself.
Puns are always welcome. Bethany's life just said everyone except RWBY are arsonists. Volume 7, RWBY's time to shine.
Yeah. Atlas can burn.
She just sets the Schnee Manor on fire.
Just for the banter, just because she's like, I need to burn something too, guys. Come on, we're a team. We're a team.
Yeah, Weiss is like, we're moving to a bigger mansion, so if you want to burn this one down.
Yeah, you can have this one, RWBY, it's okay.
we got fire insurance.
Yeah.
Or RWBY just goes like, they did what to you here? And she just like lights the match and like throws it in.
Just walks away and explodes.
Puts Whitley in a room and just like locks him in.
Oh, I'm wondering what's gonna happen with Whitley. I'm not sure what. Sure.
Sorry, your audio cut out for a bit.
That's okay. Whitley, I'm not sure what they're gonna do with him as a character.
Yeah, like, he's such a brat. So it's like, obviously I would want to see him get reprimanded for being a brat, but
then he's also really young, and it's like, how much has like his dad manipulated him?
Yeah, and so it's like, you don't want him to get the same treatment as like a villain, like, or like Adam did. But you still want him to get some sort of responsibility paid to it. Yeah, he should definitely have to still deal with the consequences of what he's done, but it's, like I said, it's not the same as Adam because he's young. Yeah. Well, also, he hasn't done any of the terrible things Adam has done, or any of the villains.
Yeah. He's just got a very warped perception of the world as of right now.
Yeah.
But then so did Weiss, to be fair.
Yeah.
For a while.
Weiss at least broadened her horizons by going to Beacon.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Whitley's been... Bethany just mentioned my favorite nickname for him. But, you know, Whitley, I think he's been manipulated so much, he never wants to, like, exit that echo chamber, or...
No.
You know, so he kind of needs to be taken out of that situation and hopefully learn.
Yeah, I feel like if he was, like, thrown into a different... probably would become a better person, but like you said, he's living in an echo chamber.
Yeah.
So right now he's just gonna stay the same.
Yeah, maybe if drunk mom sobers up a little bit and takes him out, takes him outside a bit,
takes him a little walk outside the.
Yeah. Speaking of alcoholism, do you think Crow is gonna work more on his problem during Volume 7?
Yeah, I mean, he obviously he made quite a lot of progress in Volume 6, and at the end of it we got that big sort of hint that he's like, oh, actually, I don't need to rely on this.
Yeah.
And as much as everything with Ozpin's been really terrible, like, these kids still have my back and I still help them, so maybe that's enough for now, which I thought was really wholesome.
Yeah, I have like this dumb snowbird hope that Winter comes back and she helps him through like the last legs of becoming sober, and it's all cute and stuff. But I
wonder if she'll like him more as a person, drunk all the time.
Once he's sobered up, if she'll like him more.
Yeah.
I definitely think it's his alcoholism on like why she hates him, because he's just so unprofessional and rude because of it.
Yeah, because she's like the complete opposite.
Yeah, she's like, I've never even tasted alcohol in my life.
I mean, also when you obviously in the context of what their mom's like, it completely so turned off by the idea of someone like becoming an alcoholic.
Yeah, and where I live, there's a lot of people like that, actually, where they're like, oh, you drink beer? You must be of Satan. Oh, how dare you? And, you know, it's like, there's a big contrast where I live. But, yeah, I hope for a little bit of Snowbird, even if it's, like, not, it doesn't have to be canon. I just want a little bit of interaction, because I loved their banter, and
I'm sure you will get a little bit of interaction, for sure. I feel like there's no interact. It just depends what kind of interaction.
Yeah, for sure. So I know it's late for you and many of our viewers. Do you have any last things you want to talk about before we end the stream?
No, if anyone has like any like last questions, or you yourself, I don't really mind.
Yeah, anyone got any last questions? Oh, John Ronald in the chat said maybe Maria can give Snowbird dating advice.
I feel like her advice would be terrible.
Yeah. She's like, I've been single all my life, but here's what you should do.
Like, she will give deliberately terrible advice because it would be funny for her to see the fallout.
Yeah, no, I could totally see her doing that. Like, she just antagonizes them perfectly.
Yeah.
Focus Boy asking, what's your favorite part of RWBY Volume 5? I think we just talked about that. Unless you have a different favorite part.
No, the Weiss and Yang talks always stands out to me. Even when I was editing the Bumblebee video, I just ended up watching that whole scene through because I was like, oh, this is such a good scene.
Yeah. Because I made a video on like top 5 things I liked in Volume 5 and like 5 things I would like to see done again for Volume 6, and I brought up that conversation in both videos, I think.
Yeah.
Rune Phoenix is asking, what are your thoughts on the theory that Nora might split Atlas in half with her hammer? I think that's like based off of Norse mythology with Thor. Like, he does something like that. And I think Thor Ragnarok kind of hinted at that.
Yeah, potentially. Too. That would be cool. Let's just have Thor Ragnarok basically be Volume 7.
It's just Ren and Nora creating chaos throughout Atlas.
Yeah, with just some great music underneath.
Yeah, or they could pull like an Age of Ultron thing as well, where Thor hits down on that thing and it basically splits that city into pieces.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, like
I don't think Nora's going to be the one to bring down Atlas. No, I don't.
No, she has the potential, but she won't be the one.
Yeah. No, she'll think about it.
Yeah, she'll think about it and wished it was her, but it won't be her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. Nora. I would love to see her get coffee in canon, just because of what we saw in Chibi.
Yeah, see if it has the same effects in battle.
Yeah. Joshua is saying, what is this, Hammer Time? I wish. Dude, I love Hammer Time's videos. Like,
Hammer Time's a standout, man. Standout.
Yeah. I've actually asked them about being on VYTALCast sometime, and I got like a maybe later kind of answer, so.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't think they're like super keen on like video, like their face.
Yeah,
which I completely respect.
Yeah, and I give my guests the option, like for ones who don't show their faces normally in video, like, hey, if you want, we could just have your channel logo in place of you. Like, we don't have to have your face. But I guess Hammer Time, like, we haven't even had their voice in the video.
Exactly.
So it's like, yeah, you're so far been super private, so I understand and respect that.
Yeah.
Bethany's asking favorite weapon.
Ooh.
It's like choosing your children.
It is. It's really hard. I mean, I love Sun's gunchucks. Anytime they're used, they're great.
Gunchucks are amazing. I really like Gamble and Shroud.
Yep, Gamble Shroud's
Yeah.
also sad. I just realized what happened to that.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I mean, hopefully she'll get it upgraded. Some people have talked about taking part of Adam's blade to making it into Gamble and Shroud. But
she won't want to touch Adam's sword ever.
Yeah, I think it'd bring too many bad memories for her if she did that. Whenever I try to think of like a RWBY OC, I always accidentally make Gamble and Shroud their weapon. So I think
it's a very versatile weapon.
It is. It's like it's a grappling hook, it's a sword, it's a gun. Like it's like it could do too many things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fallen comrade of Volume 6, like the bike, unfortunately.
Yeah, Mr. Madman Productions saying F for Gamble and Shroud.
Do not tell them to press Fs in that live stream chat, otherwise
Everyone
it's over.
Push F in the chat.
No,
we've done it before. The gun. Who could forget gun from Ironwood?
That was a good gun, to be fair.
It was, and then he just pistol whipped someone. So
yeah, he was very effective.
Yeah, just like the chat hitting their F keys. Yeah, we had a nice stream, and then Hunt SD just goes, oh, there it goes.
Gone.
Well, I think that's a great place to end the stream. Thank you so much for being on, and I know with the time difference you had to stay
okay.
up, so yeah,
it was
honestly
a lot of fun.
You're so awake I couldn't even tell the difference on like the time of day. But also your room's just really bright, so I'm like, yeah, it's like 5 p.m. over there.
It's like completely dark outside, but sure.
Yeah. Meanwhile, for me, like I look outside the window, it's like sunset right now, so I'm like, oh yeah. But yeah, anyway, thank you again so much, and everyone in the chat, thank you so much for watching the stream. Go subscribe to Xiao Long, unless you came from over here, then subscribe to me, please.
Yes, please do, boys.
Yeah, and I would love to have you on again some other time, or maybe a collab video if you're open to that. Yeah, totally. Okay, well, I'm always terrible at ending streams, so
that's okay.
Anyway, guys, thank you, and as always, I will boop you next time.
See ya.